Thursday customers, please join Dr. Harlan Coben, author of Hot. He'll be doing a discussion Friday evening at 6:30 in our event area. Again, please join Harlan Coben.
So I wondered if you could talk a little about, what lies beneath things that seem perfectly ordinary.
Well, I have a romantic skewed vision of American suburbia. I think it's sort of the battleground of the American dream. It's where we go, we're supposed to get married, have 2 kids, 2.4 kids, have a picket fence, garage, the whole thing. And where these dreams come alive, they also can wither and die. So it's not necessarily a dark vision like an American Beauty kind of a thing. I actually think there's a lot of wonder to it. But that's the world I work in. It's it's sort of the real world of what people are trying to accomplish in their lives, and where people, even if you're doing right, wrong still seems to find you. I am writing suspense. I really want to keep you up at night. I mean, I want Caught to be the book that you take to bed at 9 o'clock at night, and you think, I'll just read for a half hour and go to bed, and it's 4 in the morning, and you're bleary-eyed. So a lot of that involves a lot of things going on. I mean, the book is very densely plotted. Doesn't mean you can't have character or setting or all those things, because you could have the best car in the world if you don't have gasoline. It's not going to go anyplace. So you have to have the heart. So yeah, these characters go through a lot. I mean, the lead character in this one, Wendy Tynes, really, I really put her through the ringer, and she's a different person by the end of the book in the beginning. But really, if you break down all fiction, it is a man or woman going down the road of life, and there's obstacles in their way, and how they overcome obstacles is what fiction's all about.
Mm-hmm. Where do you think that the political and art should mix, if at all?
If you're starting out with a book with some kind of agenda, be it right-wing or left-wing, that you want to instill in a book, your book's probably doomed from the get-go. If through storytelling certain themes come out, certain lessons come out, it's funny, I get hate mail from right-wing and left-wing. So I'm not sure where people think I stand. I made the mistake of going on Hannity's show last year, and boy did I get hate mail from the right-wing after that, for admitting I voted for Obama. And then I'm also friends with Chris Christie. So I will intentionally create a character and I will argue passionately for their side, and I totally disagree with the side. Everything has to be slave to the story, and really having people who are either left or just right would not be interesting to me.
Thanks.
Well, celebrity is a huge factor in our society. I mean, we treat celebrities differently, and celebrities act differently, and it often pays to be a celebrity. So that again, and it's not just quote unquote what you would normally call celebrities, but as you point out, lawyers. Anybody, I just did a couple of TV shows this last week on Today Show, Morning Joe, these kind of things, and everybody wants to be on them, just any kind of talking head. And you're doing this for the internet. The internet also, people, because there's so much out there, they feel that they have to scream louder to be heard and be more right or left wing or crazed. And this is a problem on both sides.
Now, you won the Edgar. Do you still go to the Edgar Awards?
I do. I was president of the Mystery Writers of America a year or two ago, so I try to go.
It was like Al Roker had hosted, and it was like a lot of fun.
It was. Al was hilarious. He ripped on me pretty good, though. he makes fun of me. Actually, I was on Today Show with Al Roker yesterday, so he's a very funny guy. Off camera especially. He's really edgy, very edgy, and he was in a grumpy mood that night, in a good way, in a very good way.
I wanted to ask, and this is something that I've just sort of been wondering about for a while, how did you come to be in Tell No One?
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Guillaume Canet, the French director who bought it, we got along really, really well. And he was great about telling me all the things he wanted to do with it, and we discussed it a lot. And they said, I want you to be in the movie. Come on over to Paris, and I want you to be in a scene in the movie. And so I was. And it was a lot of fun. My whole family came, and I'm only on for about 10 seconds. I don't speak, but I steal the film. I mean, I steal the film.
General French audiences respond to your work more so, or maybe in a different way than American audiences do?
Well, I am the Jerry Lewis of crime fiction. I'm really big, and I do very well here. I'm not complaining, and hopefully the last 2 books have debuted, I think, at #1 at the New York Times list. But France I just have a little bit of a love affair with that country, and maybe it was the movie. Or whatever, but I sell a lot of books there. They're a really receptive audience there. I just was there in Paris doing my book tour over there, and it's great.
Wait, is it not?
Yeah, they do it. I mean, they did a really interesting job, I thought, with Tell No One, and they did things that Hollywood maybe would not have done. Now maybe Hollywood's going to remake it, so hopefully they'll follow the French lead. But one of the things that Guillaume Canet understood was that the book was really a love story first, thriller second. And I think Hollywood sensibilities often is thriller first, love story second.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the reasons why that film works. But if you do watch it with subtitles, don't watch the dubbed. The dubbed is like watching, I kept waiting for Raymond Burr and Godzilla to appear.
How much of that made its way into Caught? Because there's a lot of, it seems like
Yeah.
very familiar. And
I have 4 kids, and so I don't think I've written a scene involving kids that didn't actually happen between me and my kids in terms of dialogue. And probably some of your guys are young, but half the time to get my daughter's attention in my own house, I have to text her. And so those relationships, that kind of relationship, I hope Wendy has with her son in the book. And I think we've got to kind of wrap this up.
Yeah,
pretty
sure,
soon because,
absolutely.
no, because I have to get out there. I have people waiting at 5. Yeah, I should have been out there already, but.